We're in downtown Buffalo tonight for live Section 6 high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. From LECOM Harborcenter, it's Starpoint squaring off against Hamburg in a Monday evening matchup. Hello, I'm Aaron Elpern alongside color commentator Sean McHugh as we get you ready for puck drop between the Spartans and Bulldogs. And Sean, if anyone is a fan of offensive talent, then this should certainly be your type of game.
That's right, Aaron, and I am as big a fan of offensive talent as there is, and tonight we have one of the most dangerous top lines in all of Western New York, that being the prolific trio for the Starpoint Spartans of Alec Kirk, Justin Bull, and Will Mainstone. And coming over the bench for the Hamburg Bulldogs might be the best player in Section 6 hockey, and that is Josh Gregory. He comes in with 26 points on the year in 14 games, 17 goals, and 9 assists. So to say the offense for Hamburg runs through them through number 12 would be a massive understatement.
Yeah, you look at the Hamburg offense throughout the course of the season, there have only been 13 Hamburg goals that Gregory didn't score or provide an assist on. So he's been in on 2/3 of every Hamburg goal scored this year. It's no mystery how Hamburg generates their offense. Other teams know who to watch for, yet they still struggle to stop number 12, Josh Gregory.
Absolutely, and Starpoint has a counterpunch to that in their top line that does not sneak up on anybody, as all three are in the top 25 in points this season among Fed players, and they were a big reason why the Starpoint Spartans won the sectional title last year. We have Kirk leading the way with 17 goals and 14 assists. Mainstone trailing him, right behind him with 8 goals while assisting on 18. And Bull recorded his 100th career varsity point recently and has 7 goals and 15 assists on the year.
So now really, Sean, the question is whether or not this is going to be a battle of one side's top player against the other team's top trio, or is this going to be a test of who can do a better job of defending that talent on the other side of the rink?
Yeah, but I wouldn't expect Starpoint to alter their approach in order to deal with Gregory. Coach Clayton Wilson doesn't like to change things based on the opponent, especially when it's in regards to one single player on his opponent. He prefers to have his team focus on their systems and do what they do within the game to try and dictate how the game goes versus focus on one guy.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hamburg head coach John McFall, we had a chance to chat with him as well before puck drop tonight. He says obviously they're going to try to do their best to slow down that top Starpoint line, but he kind of likes the opportunity for his younger group to get the chance to battle against a top line like Starpoint's top line and all of the senior talent that Starpoint comes into this game with. 9 seniors on the roster. This is a very experienced bunch that knows how to win hockey games. On the other side, Hamburg, much younger group, a lot of freshmen in the lineup, freshmen and sophomores. This is a great opportunity to get that experience so that they're ready later on in their careers to go on the types of runs that the Starpoint team did last season.
Absolutely. Like you said, this is a very young Hamburg Bulldogs team. They're coming in with an overall record of 5-10. However, like you said, it's with a purpose. They're going to be able to send freshmen out there against one of the most prolific scoring lines in the league. And I do remember Coach McFall saying to us earlier he likes to use his freshmen on the penalty kill as well. A little bit of baptism by fire, where if they might not be successful winning games, their players are going to gain something from that going forward, like Starpoint has built to what they are now.
Yeah, we might see at one point tonight with Hamburg, if they're killing off a penalty, they might have 4 freshmen out there killing off that penalty. Coach McFall told us about a recent game where the 4 of them were out there to kill off the last 2 minutes of a major penalty. Certainly they have shown that they have the ability to do it, and they're getting more and more experience under the fire, under the lights of playing against tough competition. And Coach McFall likes the opportunity that games like this will bring for his team. It's been a season where they've been growing and progressing. That's what the idea of getting experience is. You have to play the games to get the experience, and that's what this Hamburg squad has done so far this year. Obviously, a great opportunity against one of the top small schools in Section 6, the reigning small school sectional champions, the Starpoint Spartans. So obviously, this should be a great matchup for them to test where they are this season. And one of the matchups that we saw last season, Sean, we did a handful of high school hockey games, and this was one that we certainly enjoyed, the matchup between Hamburg and Starpoint. That one, if you recall, last January was a goaltending battle.
Yes, and we have both of the goaltenders that were featured in that game in there tonight, and especially from Hamburg's side, you might prefer a goaltending duel tonight. But even still, though, if you do get into a goaltender and do it with Starpoint, they do have the goaltender that can ride with them, and experienced senior goaltender Richie Garou versus senior Gavin Waite.
Yeah, a pair of senior netminders in net tonight facing off against each other. We're meeting the starting lineups right now. Let's head down to ice level before we get ready for puck drop here. Starpoint and Hamburg from Harborcenter. Starpoint and Hamburg meeting in downtown Buffalo. We're at Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo for this Section 6 high school hockey matchup. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the Nickel City Hockey Network. My name is Aaron Elpern alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, videographer Jeff Jazarowski, as we get set for tonight's matchup between two schools that are obviously quite familiar with each other, playing a couple times a year. They've already met once this season, a 7-1 Starpoint victory. Obviously an opportunity for a little bit of revenge for Hamburg here tonight, and it's an opportunity for us, Sean, to see one of the top players in all of Western New York high school hockey, Hamburg's Josh Gregory.
Yes, and we had a little bit of pleasure of seeing him a bit last year. Now we get to see him captaining this Hamburg Bulldogs team as a senior, and he is electric. Like we said in pregame, everybody in the building knows that the puck's going to go through him. Teams have done not a whole lot to be able to stop him, and here he comes.
Gregory already with the first shot attempt of the game, just missing high and wide as he looked to go high glove side on the netminder Garou. Starpoint finding possession of the puck in their own zone. A turnover, though, almost the wrong person to turn it over to there. That was Gregory almost getting a golden opportunity in tight. Starpoint managing to clear the zone. Now a battle for a loose puck just below our broadcast position. Spartans get it into the offensive zone. Sekaterski picking it up there, looking to start out in the near side. A little bit of pressure on him, but he does manage to get it up to Fidel. Kept in the zone by Alec Kirk as he comes in off the bench. Kirk now with possession of it, coming in 1-on-3, tries to make a pass out toward the front of the net. Rest of the team changing, nobody there to accept that. Now it's going to be Bellis getting it up ice for Hamburg, unable to get it out of the zone now. Will Mainstone picks it up, but he gets hauled down after gaining possession of that one. And that's going to be the first penalty of the game, not even a minute in. And Hamburg taking the tripping call. And it is their captain, number 12, Josh Gregory, in the box. So not only do they have to kill off a penalty here, but they have one of their more dangerous players and one of their better puck possession players not out there to help kill it off.
Absolutely, and take a look right here, Aaron. Here, it looks like we have some of the freshmen out there for Hamburg as well. Or maybe not.
Setting up here on the outside. Starpoint has it here as it's Bulls setting it up there and getting it down low to Mainstone. Mainstone with a man right on him. That's Brady Ike, the defenseman. Creates a loose puck, but now it's back to the point to Lubert. Lubert slides it across to Bull here on the near wall. Had a little bit of difficulty handling that, and that creates a loose puck in the circle. Mainstone finds control of it, though, for Starpoint, and they keep possession here on the near wall. Bull now gets it back to the point. Lubert walking in, lets a shot go, got redirected on its way in, squeaks through the crease. It looked like it came across both sides of the crease. Gavin Waite doing what he could to make sure that one stayed out, but a dangerous moment there on the power play for Starpoint. Back to the point to Bull. He tries to go cross ice as he had Alec Kirk along the goal line on the far side. Kirk with possession now, gets it to Mainstone along the goal line, in towards the slot, but Cardarella unable to get that one in on net. Hamburg getting the clear and trying to get a couple of new bodies out there, but they better be quick about it before Starpoint gets back into the offensive zone. Justin Bull with possession at the top of the circle, feeds it towards the front of the net. Mainstone unable to see that one coming. It looked like Gavin Waite had a little bit of difficulty seeing it as well. Got a late stick on it. Now a pass is intercepted there in the high slot. Brady Ike getting the clear and sending it to Starpoint territory. First minute 10 of the penalty has been killed off. Dominic Lubert trying to set it up behind his own net. A little bit of pressure on him from his fellow number 2, Canyon Bellis. Now the puck comes back out to Lubert, but he's unable to handle that one. And now Fidel gets a shot in on goal. Looked like he got tied up as he let that one go, so not a whole lot on that one as it got into Guru, and he makes the save and holds on for a whistle. Starpoint now making a couple of changes with 33 seconds now remaining in that power play.
Look, and great job so far killing this penalty by Hamburg. Haven't really allowed any high-danger scoring chances. Puck's really not even getting to any of the high-danger areas. So right now, really good job by Hamburg. They did put a freshman out there as well to kill this penalty. So far, so good, but they do need to get through the next 20 seconds.
Puck picked up here on the left side, and Gavin Russell carries it up ice into the offensive zone, now along the goal line. He stops and gets it back to the point to Cyric. Cyric now back to Russell and then back to the midpoint. Manguso sends it across to the far side. Good passing there, but it was Austin Bush unable to get a good shot off from that far circle. In the near circle, shot taken there by Russell. That one misses high and goes off the back glass. Penalty ending here as Gregory comes out of the net. Shot in towards the net, hits the defenseman in the skate. Redirected in on Waite, and he handles that one with the glove hand. Holds on for a whistle. 14:06 now remaining in the first period. Hamburg has killed off the first penalty of the game, and now both teams getting some fresh lines out there for this offensive zone draw for Starpoint.
And a job well done there by the Hamburg penalty kill. That was a tough spot to be put in early in the game with their captain in the box. Great job not only killing the penalty, but really not allowing much to come of it in the terms of high-danger scoring chances either.
Rogers' pass up ice goes through the skates of its intended target, but no icing on this play. And now it's started up ice here on this other side by Starpoint. Bush with that first pass attempt, it hits a skate, but he finds control of it again and attempts to dump it in, but he ends up hitting his line mate in the side with that one, Mike Merrifield. Now back inside the Starpoint zone, Case floats a backhand pass up the near wall. Hamburg finding possession, sending it right back in. Case sends it right back up that wall again, but he's unable to get it out in that first attempt. His second one, however, does bounce over the stick of Barmish and gets into the neutral zone. Rogers now setting up that breakout with Sekaterski. Pass through the neutral zone, goes off the stick of Barmish, and now Baumgartner tries to get it into the offensive zone for the Bulldogs. Barmish eventually gets it across the blue line, but it's picked up by Alec Kirk, and now he's got a lane up the far side. Kirk with the defenseman on him, but he still maintains possession. Has it along the goal line now. It comes back to the point to Dominic Lubert. Lubert, the defenseman, slides it along that wall. Give and go play with Kirk. Lubert tries to get that shot in from the hash marks. Eventually, Kirk lets that one go, and it just misses the net wide. Bull runs into his man here on the near boards. Gets it down low to Mainstone, who switches positions with Bull and then cuts out towards the front of the net. Good defensive play to get a little bit of a body on him. That was number 19, Liam Rogers, doing just enough defensively to keep that from developing in front of the net for Starpoint. Spartans, though, with possession of it again in the neutral zone, and Justin Bull dumps it in. Finds Mainstone on the far side, and he cycles it down low as well. Bull finding it there, and his line mate Alec Kirk getting that third player to get the touch on it. Now he has possession in that far corner. Back to the point to Lubert. He lets that shot go, blocked on the way through, didn't even get to the hash marks. And now trying to get that puck out of the zone, number 4, Jack Jablonski. He's the one that made that block. Puck coming up these near boards as Hamburg trying to get it out of the zone, unable to do so, so it's kept in on the near point. Shot coming in from McClellan. Good arm save there by the blocker arm of Gavin Waite. Bit of a rebound there, but eventually cleared off towards the behind the Hamburg cage, but it's going to be Starpoint again with possession of it. It's that top line we've been talking about, setting up shop in the offensive zone here.
And Hamburg needs to do a better job of being quick with the puck in their own defensive zone. Way too much coasting through the zone and trying to take that extra look. When that puck is on your stick, it's got to either be down or it's got to be off onto another tape here. You can't mess around with the puck in your own end against Starpoint here.
Not a whole lot of pressure on the Starpoint breakout. Almost leads to a 2-on-1 down low as Dominic Lubert had a good chance there in the backhand. Ended up getting taken down as he got that shot in on goal. Hamburg now moving it up ice as Scheffler tries to get it across the blue line. Takes a bump from Cardarella, and now Starpoint might have some numbers. Dumped in there by Russell as he had 2 men right on him. And now Cardarella in a battle behind the net. He gets that one out in front. Tempted cross-crease pass there as Cyric tried to get that one across to Russell. Good defensive play to keep what would have been a tap-in goal from happening there. Cardarella finding a loose puck there in the far corner. He takes a hit from Ike, but gets it back to the point. Shot attempt from there is deflected and goes up over the cage. And now it's picked up by Cardarella, and he tries to get a backhand past Waite, and Waite makes a good glove arm save. And now he's going to have to make another one. This time it's with the blocker, as Cardarella had a lot of time to let that one go from the low slot.
Cardarella has dominated this shift so far, and here he comes again.
Gets it down low to Cyric. Cyric then tries to get that pass back out in front. Waite gets the stick on that one before it got to the Starpoint player in front. Starpoint, though, keeps the pressure on. Cyric in the far corner takes a bump and loses control, but now a little bit of a race for the puck here in the corner. Ike bumps his man before he gains possession of it. Now a 2-on-2 battle. See which side's going to come out of there with it. Brady Ike throws another hit as he knocks down Gavin Russell on that play. Starpoint still might get a chance out in front of the net, as battling to get that shot in on goal was Reed Mariner. He ended up getting knocked down in the process too.
Battle right now.
Starpoint still with possession of it here down low, as this defensive group for Hamburg has been out there for a while. Wood finally gets the clear, but he only gets it as far as the center ice red line. Let's see if Starpoint can get right back into the offensive zone. They do so. Hamburg, though, able to make the change as Waite's able to cover that one up and get a whistle on the play, but a fair amount of sustained zone time there for Starpoint, as that shift was a perfect example of what the Starpoint depth is capable of doing in the offensive zone.
And back to a point we made in pregame, one of the points of emphasis we had was how Starpoint is a senior-driven team, but right there, a sophomore was the one driving play. So an embarrassment of riches Starpoint has up and down the lineup. You know, Frankie Cardarella and his line mates absolutely owned that shift. Look for more of that as this game goes on.
Well, the top player for Hamburg's out there right now. He's in towards the slot looking for a pass. Now a loose puck that he's battling for. It looks like we're going to have a penalty coming up here, as the 2 number 2s were engaged in the corner. Canyon Bellis carried the puck into the zone. Took a hit from Dominic Lubert, and I'm not sure which of the 2 number 2s is heading to the box. It looks like it's going to be Lubert.
Oh, Bellis was skating towards the box. I thought they might have gotten them both, but yeah, Dominic Lubert's the only one getting the gate right here.
Looked like they might have gotten Bellis for the retaliation. They had the original call up, and Bellis kind of went back at him. Surprised that they didn't take both of them there in that case, but it's going to be the evening out of the power play numbers here in this game. Starpoint's already had their opportunity. Now we get a chance with the Hamburg Bulldogs power play. Gregory out there, no surprise, to take the face-off. Starpoint, though, winning the draw, getting that first clear as the first 5 seconds being killed off here. Rogers back for the breakout.
Oh, Starpoint, they're putting pressure down below the goal line immediately. They are not even going to give Hamburg a chance to break out of their zone.
Kills off about 10 more seconds there on the power play, just creating a little bit extra difficulty on the breakout. Puck is turned over, and Kirk now is putting that pressure on again. He's the first one to that loose puck. Loses control of it, though, as Ike battled him there for that and gets it up ice to Reese. Now Reese and Gregory gain the offensive zone line. Gregory now going wide into that far corner. Backhand pass out towards the front of the net, just behind its intended target, and it ends up on the stick of Will Mainstone. Carries it through the neutral zone. Gregory coming back hard defensively, creates a loose puck, takes his man down. They end up both going down on the play.
That's why he plays center, first man back.
And now it's going to be Starpoint again finding control of that and getting it dumped in. That's Joe Manguso making sure that a little bit more time has been killed off on the Dominic Lubert minor penalty. A minute gone in it so far. And now Reese picks it up and gathers a head of steam here in the neutral zone.
That puck's got to get deep. You're not going to skate through these D-men. You got to get the puck behind them and get set up in the offensive zone.
Either make that pass sooner in the neutral zone or dump it in. This could be an opportunity shorthanded for Bully. Lets a hard wrist shot go. Right arm save made by Gavin Waite. And so far, this Starpoint penalty kill has had the overwhelming advantage during this power play.
Yeah, to say the very least. And they are fearless, too. They send a forechecker in hard on the puck carrier. And that forechecker's job is to do one thing, and that's just make that puck carrier's life miserable. And Starpoint's been doing that perfectly. And a set play off the face-off, too, when you're shorthanded. And that's, you're a state champion when you can do that. run a set play off of a face-off when you're killing a penalty.
It tells you how much confidence they have, not only in their ability to gain control of the puck, but in order to execute the plays that they practice.
Well, they did it, so for good reason.
Well, groups that have experience, they're used to playing together in big games, and they're able to do things that younger, less experienced teams have a harder time doing. Justin Bull, there's a lot of experience at play right there.
100 points worth of it.
Makes a heck of a move to get himself free, and another shorthanded opportunity. 20 seconds now remaining on this power play, but it's been basically all Starpoint. You'd have to convince me that this has been a Hamburg power play. That's the first shot on goal for them on this power play.
And honestly, might have actually given Starpoint possession right there because the defenseman was in perfect position.
Last 4 seconds of the power play as it's carried up the near side. Justin Bow with possession of again. One hand pass to Cyric as the penalty expires. Cyric on the backhand shot in on goal. Save is made by Waite. There was a rebound there briefly. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty called here as an interference call is being signaled. And just after Hamburg is unable to do a whole lot with their power play, they're going to have to kill off a penalty right now, as heading to the penalty box is going to be number 4, Jack Jablonski.
Yeah, that's tough. After a pretty rough power play, to say the very least, now you have to kill a second penalty from this high-powered Starpoint attack. Now, I will say Hamburg did a nice job of keeping everything to the outside right here, but having said that, you are playing with the hottest kind of fire you can play with by giving this power play more than 1 or 2 opportunities in a game.
One difference between the previous Starpoint power play and this one is Josh Gregory's on the ice to help kill it off. He took that first penalty, so certainly a little bit of extra help out there for the Hamburg side.
Definitely a bit of an X factor there. Look at it. He's right here on the forecheck. Case and point.
It's a loose puck, and now he might get a shorthanded opportunity. He does. Looks like he tried to go short side the far post. Just a good skate save by Rich Carew, denying Josh Gregory. As we talked about, he is especially dangerous when he's out there with the puck on the ice. Doesn't matter if his team's shorthanded, even strength, or with the power play. Keep an eye on number 12 when he has possession of it.
Well, you're going to see him whether you want to or not, because you just notice him when he's out there, especially when he has the puck.
2 best players from each team, they're tangling in the neutral zone as Alec Kirk gets it into the offensive end. Stops in that far corner, gets it back to the point to Lubert. Lubert stopping and getting things set up at the far point. Now Kirk walking in from that far board. Doesn't see anything he likes and then circles back into that corner before feeding it back to Lubert at the point. Minute to go on the power play as Cardarella attempts to get a shot in from the mid slot. Cross-ice pass, and now Kirk with an opportunity from the low circle on the far side. Didn't have a whole lot to shoot at there. Ended up missing high and wide. Now Gregory coming back 1-on-4. Tries to sidestep one man. Good play by Cardarella to make sure he didn't have control of that puck after making that move. Cardarella now back in the other direction as there are 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Soft backhand shot there by Mainstone as he was tied up trying to get that one away. Waite makes the save, but it's still Starpoint in possession of it. Cardarella with the shot. Again, he got a little bit tied up there as he let that one go, but he still managed to get it in on net. And now Kirk with possession on the far side, but he loses control of it to Gregory as Gregory tries to kill off the last of this power play.
I'm surprised he didn't get that call right there.
Yeah, got knocked down as he carried that puck out of the zone. Hamburg, though, refinding possession as Gregory goes for a change. Now just 10 seconds remaining on this Starpoint power play. Hamburg's done a really good job of killing off this one.
Yes, their penalty kill has been outstanding so far in this game. Really doing a great job. One, they haven't gotten scored on. That's the most important part, but not a crate. They had, honestly, Starpoint had better chances when they were shorthanded scoring than they have on any of their power plays.
Absolutely true. Can't argue with that one bit. Aiden Case with the puck here at the left point. Finds Alec Kirk in the high slot. He lets a shot go low along the ice. Stick save made by Gavin Waite. Up and out of play.
That pass was not for him.
Was it intended for a different target there?
That was going for Lubert, and Lubert had his stick cocked ready to let it go. But I'm also not, if I am on Starpoint, I'm also not about to discourage Alec Kirk from shooting the puck.
Yes. I don't think Alec Kirk should let a puck go past him if he has an opportunity to play it.
A shot on goal is never a bad play right there.
So Starpoint's done an excellent job in this game of setting up time in the offensive zone, leading by in the shots on goal category 10-2. They almost get a redirection goal there as that one hit a skate and almost snuck in the near post. Baumgartner finding possession of it, moving it up ice, 3-on-2 possibly here for Hamburg. Kinderman's shot, though, unable to get that one off as he fans on it, trying to get that one through the screen. And now this is an opportunity for Starpoint to move it back up ice as Jim Manguso dumps it in. Brady Ike, the first one to it. He plays it up the far boards, but it's kept in by Joe Manguso on the far side. Ike finding possession of it again, though, and now setting up a 2-on-1 into the offensive zone. Ike takes the shot himself. High glove just inside the bar. Hamburg with the 1-0 lead with the defenseman Brady Ike getting the game-opening goal.
What a play there by Brady Ike. Picks up the puck and takes matters into his own hands. Gets through a forechecker. Cuts right through the neutral zone and absolutely wires a snapshot. Top corner. I bet he probably wants that celly back. He kind of dropped the ball on that one. But, man, what a shot by Brady Ike. And Hamburg, after, they've taken a few jabs to the ribs, not broken. Then when they get a shot, they land a haymaker to start this game.
Only the third shot on goal so far for Hamburg, but it pays off, results in a goal. And it's a 1-0 Hamburg lead with just under 4.5 minutes to go in period number 1. See if they can get a little bit of extra life out of this. They end up getting an icing call after the neutral zone faceoff. So we're going to get a draw in the Starpoint zone to the left of Rich Guru. Looked like that shot might have switched him up a little bit. I'm not sure he was expecting it to go into that part of the net.
No, I think it was a really good job. I think Brady Ike waited to use the defenseman as a screen and was looking at the blocker hand, because remember, Guru's one of those southpaw goalies that messes with everybody. So I don't think he was ready for a glove-high shot to come at him right there. I think because usually players aim for the blocker, and Guru got caught maybe leaning a little bit, and on top of that, it was a perfectly placed shot by Ike.
Puck in the neutral zone now as Dominic Lubert picks it up just outside of his own blue line. Cross-ice pass to Muscarella, and he has to go back along his goal line. Dangerous pass there through the middle of the ice. Fortunate that one didn't get picked off.
Closer, yeah.
Austin Bush finding control of it in the neutral zone. He gets bumped off of that one by Josh Gregory. And now Fidel able to dump that one into the offensive end.
This is what Hamburg needs to do right here. They have to get the puck deep and get their forecheckers in, because they're having success doing that using their speed. They're a young team. So Hamburg might have found something here. You're not going to skate it through Starpoint. They play their defense way too tightly and crisp. You got to get the puck behind them, and you got to beat them to the puck. Hamburg's had a little success doing that in the last few minutes. Look for them to go back to that well the rest of the game.
Yeah, those last 10 seconds right there are a perfect example of what they might want to employ for the rest of the game. Get it deep, get control of it, then get it back to the point and get that shot in from there. Nice opportunity to create an opportunity for the point shot and also a rebound chance. Didn't end up coming as Guru covered it up and forced a face-off in the offensive zone for Hamburg, and now it's here in the neutral zone as it's going to be Baumgartner trying to carry it up ice.
Oh, good play there.
Made one nice move to get himself free, but couldn't get it deep into the offensive zone, and now McClellan picks it up for Starpoint. Stops behind his net and now changes directions, gets it up to Mainstone on the far side. Hard cross-ice pass just out of the reach of Bull. In on net, so that's going to negate any icing call, but Hamburg finding possession along their own goal line. Circling the net and carrying it up this side is Shane Wood. Loses control of it, though, as the poke check from Alec Kirk could create some chances here in the offensive zone for Starpoint. Puck comes towards the front of the net, ends up behind a turning Justin Bull, and then right in on Gavin Wade, who throws the glove hand over top of it. 2:56 now remaining in the first period. It's a 1-0 Hamburg lead. Starpoint's going to get another offensive zone draw coming up here, and again, they have that top line out there, Bull, Mainstone, and Kirk.
They are just possessing the ever-loving daylights out of the puck in this period.
Winning the face-off and getting that perimeter game set up. Down low below the goal line now, Will Mainstone with the puck in his skates. Gets it away from Ebers and now maintains possession as he makes a backhand pass to get it to Justin Bull. Bull now tries to get it back out in front to Mainstone. Comes across to Kirk. Good play by Ike to deny Kirk the opportunity to get a clean shot away. Kirk again with possession. Gets that pass out in front. Looked like Mainstone had to lift the stick of the defender before he was able to try to possess that puck. Ends up coming through the slot and now into the corner where Bull battles against two different Hamburg players for possession. Ebers getting a backhand pass out around behind the net. Ike tries to get it past Kirk there, but Kirk finding control of it and getting it back to the point to Dominic Lubert. As we approach 2 minutes to go in first period play, Lubert gets around his man, now down low to Kirk. Kirk then tries to feed it back out in front. He had two men there, couldn't get it to either one of them though. Bull looking for that shot from the far wall. Puck bounces out now off a Hamburg player, and it comes to Alec Kirk. His shot goes up over top of the cage. I'm not sure that Waite saw that one. A couple of bodies in front of him might have distracted him, obstructed his view of that shot. Hamburg getting the puck out of their zone and gaining the offensive blue line. Deep in the near corner as that one-on-one battle continues. Ebers unable to maintain possession of it for Hamburg, and Starpoint breaks it out of the zone pretty easily. Cardarella into the offensive end, chips it around one defenseman, and now has it behind the net. Cardarella circling the net, feeds a pass across just onto the backhand of Lubert, and he circles back to the point before he sets up shop there. Down low to Russell as he slides it along to Cyrek here in the near corner. Back to Russell, but he's unable to get it to him. Hamburg unable to get it out, though, as it's still in that far corner. Minute 10 to go in the period as Brady Ike sidesteps one man and gets it up to Jablonski here on the near wall. Unable to get that one to Gregory, and Cyric maintains possession for Starpoint. Cyric now on that far side, lets a high shot go. Gavin Waite has to pin it to his chest to make sure there's no second opportunity. He's able to do so, and he holds on for a whistle as we're under a minute to go here in first period play. Hamburg still enjoying a 1-0 lead.
This is a huge 57 seconds for Hamburg right here. You really want to get into the second period with a lead, especially after the way how well you played defensively for the most part in this first period.
Sekaturski skates it up ice for the Bulldogs and gets it to Gregory. Gregory tries to sidestep the one Starpoint defender, but ends up losing possession, and now Russell tries to get it out on the near side. Gets a little bit of help from Cyric, and they get it out to center ice, but it's picked up there by Josh Gregory, and he carries it right back across the blue line. Takes a huge hit, though, as laying the shoulder into him was Joe Manguso.
Yeah, Manguso had that lined up for about 5 seconds. That was coming as soon as Gregory crossed the line.
Whether or not you have him lined up doesn't necessarily guarantee you're going to be able to make that hit.
Oh, yeah, Manguso deserves all the credit for landing the hit there.
In that case, he had him lined up, unable to get a full hit on him. Gregory almost able to get that pass out in front as we have just 12 seconds to go in the period. Starpoint now looking to get that long pass through the neutral zone before the end of the frame. Canyon Bellis gets in the way of that one. Gets that pass up to the dangerous Josh Gregory with 2 seconds to go in the period. He's just going to gain the offensive zone blue line, and then the horn sounds to signal the end of the first period. An entertaining first period of play, and a 1-0 lead in favor of the Hamburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a really good period for Hamburg. I mean, they got outshot 10-4. You definitely want to address that. But one thing they did a really nice job of, although they definitely want to get more of the possession time back in their favor, the fact that they were able to keep most of the play until right at the end to the outside. Starpoint was able to get the puck to the middle of the ice. Definitely want to make sure you fix that if you're Hamburg, because you definitely don't want this team getting waxed at the puck in front of your own net. But Hamburg did a good job of neutralizing the high danger chances. You're not going to stop this offense. They've contained them so far, and then when they got a chance, they capitalized. Perfect period for Hamburg, considering the opponent, and I look for the same. And for Starpoint, they can't get frustrated. What they're doing is working. They just haven't found the back of the net yet. One thing they can't do is change their approach. They're getting the looks. Eventually one's going to break, and if it doesn't, then you tip your cap to a goaltender for playing out of his mind.
This Nickel City Hockey Network broadcast is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Also supported by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. Find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions, offering consultation for web and graphic design, social media, writing and editing services, multimedia solutions, and much more. Visit 412communications.com to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. 1-0 is our score after 17 minutes of play here from Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo. Hamburg with the 1-0 lead on the goal by the defenseman number 9, Brady Ike, his 3rd of the season. We're going to step away here for the first intermission, but we'll be back with second period play in about 10 minutes here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo as we get ready for second period play between Starpoint and Hamburg. You're watching live coverage of Section 6 high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. Hello, I'm Aaron Elpern alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, our camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, as we get set for second period play between the Hamburg Bulldogs and Starpoint Spartans. A 1-0 lead for Hamburg after one period of play. And Sean, I think that's maybe a bit of a surprise given how that first period went.
Definitely, and it's certainly not to say that Hamburg played a bad period, but Starpoint probably had about 9 to 10 or 17 minutes with the puck. Obviously had more shots, but Hamburg did a really nice job of limiting the high danger scoring chances, and when the door cracked open just a bit for Hamburg, they kicked it in. So, like I had said right as the period ended, Starpoint should not change a thing. They're doing everything fine. They haven't buried yet. Hamburg should look for a little more zone time and try to get more shots. He's got one by him. You want to add to this lead now because you're not about to sit on a one-goal lead against Starpoint.
Yeah, Hamburg did a good job of, as Sean mentioned, limiting some of the high-danger chances in that period. They gave their goaltender the opportunity to see shots and make the saves that they can expect him to make. The senior netminder, Gavin Waite, number 31, as he made all 10 stops there in period number one. A little bit of work going on his crease, though, before we get set with second period play. So just a little bit of housekeeping there on the end to our right, causing just a bit of a delay with the start of second period play, but just enough time for the coaches to give some last-minute instructions to their charges. What would you be telling your sides if you were as you were going into this period?
If I'm Coach Clayton Wilson for Starpoint, I'm telling them to stick to their game. Just do what you've been doing this whole time. And if I'm Coach McFall for Hamburg, I'm saying try to push it a little more. And what started to work for them at the end of that period was instead of trying to skate through the defense, they were getting pucks behind them and chasing them down. This Hamburg team has some speed. Like, they can get to loose pucks. They were having success doing that. I really expect that to be sort of their zone entry game plan because it was working for them.
Yeah, when they tried to carry it in, Starpoint had that formula set up pretty well, and they negated a couple of zone entries before they even got across the blue line there in that first period.
Transition, too. If you lose the puck in the neutral zone to Starpoint while you're going forward and they catch you going back, you don't want to let these Starpoint forwards or even these defensemen that are active jump up on the rush. They're just – you are going to have a hard enough time beating Starpoint if you don't beat yourself. If you do beat yourself, you don't have a chance. And Hamburg did not beat themselves in the first period, and I don't expect them to put the puck in harm's way in the second, because if you do, a one-goal lead can become a 3-1 deficit in the blink of an eye.
Still some work going on there in the goal crease to our right, so a little bit of a further delay before the start of period number two. But this Nickel City Hockey Network broadcast is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Support also comes from Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel, and by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions. All right, all the landscaping is taken care of in the goal crease of Gavin Waite, and we're set to go for period number 2. Referees have a fresh puck ready to go, and we're about set to get things started here with the second period of play. Thank you so much for joining us on the Nickel City Hockey Network for this Monday evening matchup from Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo. And we're underway with period number 2. Hamburg with the 1-0 lead as they try to move it out of their zone, but getting in the way of that pass is number 5, Alec Kirk, the leading scorer for the Starpoint Spartans. Puck is kept in here in the offensive zone. Ebers trying to move it up that far wall, banks it off the glass, but it's kept in by Dominic Lubert. Ebers with another opportunity to get it out. He ends up getting some help from Reese, and eventually that puck gets across the blue line, but Lubert picking it up there along the center ice red line. Hamburg creating a loose puck and getting it into the offensive zone. Jaworski putting some pressure on here in the near corner. Lubert makes a pass and gets it up to Mainstone. Now has control of it again on his stick with some speed into the offensive zone. Lubert tries to cut in towards the slot. Ends up running his man over there behind the net. A dangerous-looking hit there as Dominic Lubert drove his man into the backboards. Slow getting back to his skates there, number 63. That's Brett Ebers. Let's see if he's able to get back up, and none the too worse for wear, but I think that's going to be a penalty against Starpoint's number 2, Dominic Lubert again.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's one of those rules where if it looks bad, it's bad, but that was a violent collision. I'm really not sure what he's arguing. I mean, it's very fortunate that nobody was hurt or shaken up right there, but yeah. early opportunity here for Hamburg with an early power play less than a minute into the period.
Yeah, that's one of those penalties where it's where it happens. It's a guy who doesn't have as strong of a balance there, going to try to pick up that loose puck behind the net, ends up getting knocked off of his skates and into the backboards, and the distance between where the hit was given and where the collision with the boards was, that's why it looked so violent and dangerous, and no surprise that the penalty was called. I guess I'm in the same boat as you, Sean. I'm a little bit surprised that Liebert was arguing it on his way to the box. Let's see if Hamburg can do a little bit more with their power play here. That first attempt in period number 1 didn't do a whole lot. In fact, it was Starpoint having the vast majority of the shots during that penalty kill. I think they had 4 of the 5 shots on goal that happened during that power play.
I would argue that was their best stretch of offense this game.
Very true. Josh Gregory here in the near corner as he sets up the Hamburg power play. Looked to go cross ice there to find Brady Ike, just kind of in between there. Wasn't sure whether to catch it on the forehand or the backhand. That could result in a 2-on-1 for Starpoint. Mainstone tries to make that pass out in front. Really good play. Sliding to get that block was Liam Rogers.
That's a goal if Liam Rogers doesn't do that either, because Kirk is going right to the back door, and he's got to tap it if that gets to him.
Bellis gets it into the offensive zone, but his drop pass goes to a Starpoint player, and that could result in another shorthanded opportunity. Kirk into the offensive zone. Sauce pass there, tries to get it to Bull there on the far post. Just a little bit too far out of his reach for that one to connect. A pretty looking play there, almost connected on. They're shorthanded for Starpoint.
Hammer's got to talk. I mean, no one knows where to go or anything right now. They're all just kind of standing there.
Yeah, and just 44 seconds remaining in their power play. Rogers here is out of gas as he gets hammered by Justin Bull up against the near boards. Slow to get back to his skates as eventually Gregory carries it up ice. Into the offensive zone. Ike tries to get a shot through traffic, but it's blocked by the Starpoint defenders. Settled down now by Gregory as he circles towards the midpoint. Great look there as he had Reese towards the back door, just maybe a fraction off, and that allowed the Starpoint defender to get a piece of that pass.
The fact that he even tried that going the opposite way was crazy, that he's able to do that.
Tough angle shot by Reese, easily handled by the netminder Guru, and Starpoint gets the clear. That should kill off the end of this power play. Just 5 seconds remaining as Woods circles and tries to get it up ice quickly, hoping to catch Starpoint in the change. Reese dumping it into the offensive zone. Can't get it deep, though, in Case starts it up ice on the far side. Kept in at the point by Barmish. Trying to get that one deep. It goes off the leg of McClellan, and he picks it up in the far corner. Now circling the net, looking to start the breakout with a pass up to Cyric. Cyric then gives it to the defenseman Lubert. He skates it through the neutral zone. Again, Dominic Lubert pushing the play from his defensive position. Loose puck in the slot. Barmish finding control of it for Hamburg. Now he looks to get it out of the zone, but it's going to be, again, Dominic Lubert knocking him off of that puck. Just unable to keep it in the zone as Scholes knocks it off of his stick. Sends it all the way down to Starpoint territory. Pass up the near wall. Jacob Cyric finding control of it and getting that one up to Russell. Russell cuts towards the slot, might have an opportunity just a little bit out of his reach there as he made that move to get around the 2 Hamburg defenders. Got to Gavin Waite before he was able to get to it himself and get a shot in on net. Russell now looking to get that thing set up in front. He had a man cutting towards the front of the net. That was Cardarella. Maybe the timing of that one was just a little bit off. Not enough on that pass to get it on the tape with the defender in close proximity to Cardarella. Gavin Waite covering up, holding on for another whistle. 13:20 now remaining in the second period. Starpoint killed off another power play there, and again, they've just basically picked up where they left off in the first period after they had the same thing happen to them in the first period.
Absolutely. That looked like a clone minus the little fewer shot attempts, but more offensive zone time from the penalty killers there. So, yeah, Hamburg really needs to, if they're going to get another power play, they got to rethink what they're doing, because what they've got right now is definitely not working for them. Oh.
Puck almost ends up in the bench of Hamburg, but play continues as it comes to Aiden Case along his own blue line. Tries to bank a pass off the center ice boards. It comes to Cardarella, and then out now in front in the Cyric. Looked like he had just had to delay a little bit before letting that shot go, and that allowed Waite to get into position, keep that shot from getting past him. Quick shot there as Cardarella had a one-time opportunity. Second one-time attempt. That one he doesn't quite get enough on to get in on net. Good save there by Gavin Waite. I think that one's his best one of the game so far.
Definitely. That Cardarella got all of that first one. Here he is again. He's behind. Oh, it just jumped him. Oh, he was in too.
Yeah, just a little bit out of the reach of number 19, Frankie Cardarella. He has had a strong game. He had a couple opportunities in the first period, and that one-time opportunity there just a moment ago, maybe the best Starpoint chance of the game to this point. Still nothing past Gavin Waite yet, and it remains a 1-0 lead for Hamburg.
Yeah, I might argue to this point, Frankie Cardarella has been the best forward on the ice for either team right now. He's definitely created the most offense, both passing and shooting the puck. Look for 19, and not that the top line of Bull of Bull, Mainstone, and Kirk. They're playing really well, but Carterella's been driving the offense better than anybody tonight.
And I think that's what you saw last season as Starpoint made their run to the state championship game, winning the sectional title, is that they got the depth scoring to pick up later on in the season. It wasn't just their top line last year. It was the top line, the second line, as well as some chipping in from the third line. And that's really kind of what the formula is in order to have postseason success in high school hockey in Western New York. Can't just be the one line. Most every team has that strong top line. It's the depth in scoring that ends up making the difference often. This is that Starpoint top line that we've been talking about, though. Justin Bull creating some difficulty there for the Hamburg defender on the far side. Bulldogs, though, managed to get it out of the zone. Canyon Bellis unable to accept that pass. Hamburg now making a change as the puck ends up deep in the Starpoint zone. Quickly up ice by Dominic Lubert. Into the offensive end by Mainstone. Justin Bull tries to get that pass back to Mainstone, but it hits a defender's skate and then comes back to the point, and Lubert keeps it in yet again. Lubert's shot doesn't get through. Now an opportunity for Barmish to skate it out of the zone. Just couldn't quite get that one in possession throughout the entirety of that attempt to get it up ice. And Starpoint comes right back into the offensive zone as we approach the 11-minute mark in the second period. Down low to Kirk as he skates out towards the slot. Backhand shot just missing that near post wide. Now he gets it out in front. He has a man on the near post. Shot gets past Waite but not in the net. The referee on the spot to wave that one off immediately. It looked like it was number 12, Reed Mariner, getting the goal. Tough to tell from our perspective, though. Referee right there to the side of the cage waved that one off. And this one's going to stay a 1-0 game in favor of Hamburg, but a tense moment there for sure.
Yeah, Hamburg gets a call here. From our vantage point, it's tough to see whether or not that puck was in the net. Starpoint is beyond positive that puck was in. The bench and all 5 players on the ice for the Spartans stood up. But if you're Hamburg, you're not about to argue, and they don't have the overhead nets, and they don't have the benefit of instant replay, so the call on the ice is going to stand.
Well, Hamburg dodges a bullet there as Starpoint had a lot of pressure in front of the Hamburg cage. It looked like they managed to get one past Gavin Waite. Referee on the spot waves it off, and it stays a 1-0 game. We continue now with the puck in the Starpoint zone. They quickly getting it up ice into the neutral zone, but sent right back in across the blue line by Rogers. That ends up resulting in an offsides. So we'll have a neutral zone draw here with 10:45 remaining to go in the second period. See how the Starpoint team reacts to that goal getting waved off, whether or not they start to push the pace a little bit more, try to force things a little bit, or whether or not they just continue to stay on the same course that they're on right now, knowing that they're creating opportunities like they had just a moment ago.
That's what I would do, but yes, when you have a hard time scoring, then get one waved off, that's got to be maddening. We're beyond frustrated there. Interesting to see how Starpoint reacts to that. They're dealing with just a touch of adversity right now. That might have been a high stick. And Starpoint looking to exit the zone right here.
And they do so on the stick of Reed Mariner through the center ice area. Mariner tries to make a move at the blue line, but Rogers taking it off of his stick, and now they battle for that puck here in the near corner. Picked up there by Merrifield as he cycles it down low to Mariner. Mariner takes a bump from Sekaterski. And now it's another loose puck there and behind the net. Let's see who's going to come out of that pile with it. Eventually it comes out to the near side. It's going to be Austin Bush finding control. Back to the point, just dumped into the far corner as no shooting lane was there for Manguso from the point. Sekaterski finding control of it, can't get it out of the zone. Case getting the foot on that one to keep it from getting out. That attempt does however, get to center ice. And now Starpoint regroups in the neutral zone. Bush dumping it in, now setting up some offensive zone pressure as Manguso gets deep into the offensive zone. Little bump there, but it's going to be Hamburg getting a chance to move it into center ice. Bellis, though, with that pass off of his skate, and here comes Cardarella back into the offensive zone. Cardarella takes a hit, but he gets it down low to Cyric. Cyric tries to get it back to Cardarella. It comes back to the point to Lubert. His shot hits a skate and then goes off the back glass. Cyric, though, in behind the net as he tries to set something up there. He gets it to Russell. Russell tries to bank that pass out in front of the net or off the goaltender's back. He was in front of the goaltender Waite there for a moment in a dangerous position, but his defenders managed to clear that puck out of danger, and then they get that puck sent the length of the ice. They're going to take this icing penalty. The icing infraction, as we know in high school hockey, still allowed to make the change after it. In this case, it gives Hamburg a chance to catch their breath, too.
Yes, and they needed that. Take advantage of the rules when they favor you, and that's exactly what Hamburg did right there. Is Starpoint has put their pedal to the metal right here, and their defense is able to play backed off as well. They're getting pressure with their forwards while their D-men can stay back, which is exactly what you want right here.
And again, they win the face-off right away, so they get to set up that offensive zone pressure. Good play by Brady Ike, though, to create a loose puck, and he carries it up the left wing. Mike tries to make a move around the defender. Good play to stand him up there. Not let him through is number 6, Joe Muscarella.
Uh-oh.
Mainstone in behind the defense. Breakaway opportunity for Starpoint. Tries to go 5-hole on Waite. Can't get it past him, but the rebound. Alec Kirk right on the spot. Hammers that one home. Starpoint's tied it up, and they take advantage of some numbers in transition. Hamburg hadn't let anyone behind their defenders yet tonight. They did so in that case, and it's the second chance opportunity that ends up behind the Hamburg goaltender.
Yep, Alec Kirk is going to get his 18th goal of the year, and it was started again by a great rush by William Mainstone. Great awareness to send the breakout pass to spring Mainstone in alone. Shoots for the 5-hole. Nice initial save by Gavin Waite, but none of the trailing Bulldogs pick up Alec Kirk, and he slams home the rebound. And finally, right at basically the halfway point of this game, Starpoint finally gets on the board and gets this game tied at 1.
So it's a 1-1 hockey game now as Starpoint gets on the board. 8:28 to go in period number 2. We were wondering whether or not they would react to a little bit of adversity, having a goal waved off. A couple of minutes later, they end up getting a goal that doesn't get waved off, and now they have some more offensive zone pressure being set up here as Kirk tried to find Bull out in front of the net. Bull had a man on him. That's the only thing that kept him from getting a shot away from a dangerous area. 2-on-2 battle in the far corner as we approach the 8-minute mark of period number 2. Puck still lodged against the boards there in that far corner. Referee with a pretty close view of it, keeping things moving. It comes out to Bull. He lets a hard shot go. Save is made by Waite. Second opportunity, just misses the far post. Kirk finding possession of it here in the near corner. Takes a bump. And that allows Barmish to maintain possession and pick it up for Hamburg. He dumps it into the offensive zone, and Hamburg making a change now. Plenty of time, though, for Dominic Lubert to move it up this near side. Eventually, it's going to be Josh Gregory putting some pressure on him and forcing a loose puck. Now Gregory spins in the neutral zone before coming back into the offensive end. Good play there as Muscarella again steps up from his defensive position, throws the body to negate an offensive zone rush. That's 2 times in the last couple of minutes that Muscarella has stepped up from his point position to make a really good play defensively. There's a good play offensively as Mainstone gets a redirected shot in on net. Another save made by Gavin Waite. Player gets tripped up here, but no penalty. Russell might have an opportunity to set something up nonetheless. Cyric gets the shot through the goaltender. It's now 2-1 in favor of Starpoint as they get the opportunity to get a second chance opportunity, and in that case, it's Jacob Cyric putting it home, giving his team the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Hamburg caught being a little careless with the puck in their own end and losing the puck right at the blue line, and then Starpoint comes back, gets a little bit of a rush down low, and Cyric down right by the goal line still has enough space to go far side by the blocker of Gavin Waite. And now Starpoint's got a second one in a minute and a half. Let's see if they try to run out of here with this one.
Cardarella with a chance. He gets that pass across. Now looking for that backdoor play. What a save. Gavin Waite slides across and gets the right pad on it, keeping this one a 2-1 game. But he's certainly under a lot of pressure right now in the offensive zone. Starpoint with a 20-4 edge in shots as we are only about 10 minutes into the second period as the Starpoint Spartans now continuing to put that pressure on.
And now they have some jump, too. They got some pep in their step, and they're just firing from everywhere now.
One-time shot there by Cardarella. Pad save made by Waite. Hamburg just sends it the length of the ice again.
They had to do that.
This one's going to go for an icing call. 6:25 remaining in the period. Starpoint senses some blood in the water, and I think they're really going to go for the kill here.
Yep, and Hamburg needs to settle down right now. Hamburg needs zone time, even if they don't get... I mean, usually you don't want to do that, but you need zone time, if nothing else, just to give your goaltender a break. I mean, he's had to make 9 saves in a row, basically. And Hamburg got outshot by a bit in the first, but they're putting up no resistance in the second period right now.
Yeah, just the one shot here so far for Hamburg in the second period. Meanwhile, 11 shots for Starpoint as they have kept that foot on the gas right from the start of the second frame. And again, they set up some offensive zone pressure as it's going to be Merrifield cycling it down low to Merrifield to Mariner down low. Now back to the point. Aiden Case getting control of it there. Steps off the boards and gets it to Bush. Bush now into the slot. Shot attempt there as Merrifield just had his stick lifted before he could let that one go for the mid-slot. Lubert eventually gets that shot through traffic. Gets a little bit of a redirection in front from Reed Mariner. And again, this line setting up some offensive zone time as it seems like this entire second period has been spent in the Hamburg defensive zone.
Yeah, Hamburg is just disoriented to say the least right now. They're caught skating. They're in full-on panic mode right now, and Starpoint is sensing that and just trying to just control it so they get a break. And eventually, if Hamburg doesn't get the puck, they're going to get a clean look at the net.
Battle for a loose puck, and it comes back to the point to Dominic Lubert. Slowly walks around a couple of men there, tries to get that shot through traffic. Eventually it ends up just wide of the net. Ebers knocking his man down there. Referee in close proximity, issuing no call, as he had a pretty good view of it. Obviously seeing that there was no penalty there to be called. As we approached 5 minutes ago in the period, Hamburg now finally with an opportunity to move it up the far side. Brady Ike again carrying it through the neutral zone. Team making a change, though, as he loses control of it, and that allows Starpoint to pretty easily move it back out into center ice. Gregory, though, strips that puck away from Bush, and now he carries it into the Hamburg offensive zone. Gregory takes a little bit of a hook, draws a penalty, and gets a shot in on net. Giroux making the save and covering up for a whistle, but Hamburg's going to get a power play out of this as the dangerous number 12, Josh Gregory, ends up drawing the slashing call, and it looks like it's number 9, Austin Bush, heading to the box.
And pick your call there, Aaron. He took a hook, he took a slash, he took a hold, he might have taken a cross check, and I'm surprised nobody tripped him. But like we said, it's like a Mariano Rivera cut fastball. You know it's coming. You know when it's coming. It doesn't matter. You're not going to stop it. And right there, Gregory went through 3 Starpoint Spartans, and the only way they could slow him down was to take a penalty, and they had to do that. That was the smart thing to do, the way they've been killing penalties so far today.
Well, Gregory has it along the goal line as he looks for a power play opportunity. That shot got blocked on the way through. And now it's going to be picked up there along the goal line. Now back to Gregory as he tries to get a pass across. He had Reese there on the back door. Really good defensive play. Joe Manguso tying him up, keeping him from getting that power play chance. Starpoint now trying to get the clear as it's McClellan battling along the near wall. Gets a little bit of help there from Maidstone, and now McClellan gets it to the blue line, finally dumping it down the rest of the way. Alec Kirk now putting some pressure on here in the offensive zone. Lays a hit on Ike, and Ike gets it up to Gregory, and now some room for Ike to carry it through the neutral zone. Sorry, this is Liam Rogers. Rogers gains the blue line, takes a bit of a hit from Mainstone. Good play as there was a 2-on-1 battle that Mainstone ended up winning and getting that clear. Now just 1:05 to go in this Hamburg power play. Josh Gregory winding it up in his own zone, finding a little bit of space in the neutral zone. Gets it up to Ike, who spins just inside the blue line before getting a backhand pass to Reese. Hard wrist shot, just missing that top corner. Got a lot on that one, just not quite as accurate as he would have liked it. Puck comes back to the point through the skates of Ike, and now Gregory's going to have to chase it down along his own goal line. 40 seconds now remain in this Hamburg power play. Reese picking it up along the near wall, tries to get a pass up ice, but it is between Ike and Rogers. That's going to allow the Spartans to find possession again and send it back down into Hamburg territory. Reese trying to do something there, but he's got 2 men on him. That was almost a dangerous play, as it was Cyric and Bull deep in the offensive zone looking for a shorthanded opportunity. Fidale's shot doesn't get through traffic as it was Dominic Lubert getting a block there, but it's going to be Kinderman picking it up for Hamburg and looking to get that power play set up as they still have 9 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Back to the point. Now Ike here at the near point lines up a slap shot. Good stick there. Jacob Cyric getting enough of that one to keep it from getting in on goal. Austin Bush now out of the penalty box as Starpoint now looks to set up some offensive zone time just after killing off that penalty. Puck comes out towards the front of the net. Opportunity there as Mariner almost had that loose puck and a chance to get a shot in from tight. Gavin Waite throwing the catching glove on top of that one before Mariner had that chance. Stops play with 2:36 to go in the second period. Hamburg unable to really do a whole lot with that power play, and you got to wonder whether or not they're going to get many more chances here in this period, as it has been an absolute clinic by Starpoint so far. Shots on goal in this period 12-2, and the score is 2-0 here in period number 2.
And it could be 3-0 too, remember that. So yeah, this is the period Starpoint really wanted to have, well, that you always want to have, but they've done literally everything to perfection. And if it weren't for 2 really good saves by Gavin Wade, it could easily be 4 or 5-1.
Here's another chance in front of the net, and another save by Waite. Right pad save, kicking out that right leg, denying Mariner that opportunity in tight. As Sean said, there have been 3 or 4, if not 5, chances here in the second period that Gavin Waite has made stops on, keeping his team in this game. Still a 2-1 score in favor of Starpoint. Spartans, though, coming back into the offensive zone now. Mariner tries to get it deep in the offensive zone. Eventually, Merrifield does so. First one to it, though, is going to be Wood. Tries to chip it around. Manguso unable to do so, though, and it comes back to the point. Shot taken there by McClellan. Bouncing puck comes out towards the side of the net. Wood finding control of it, now trying to get it out. McClellan, though, keeps it in again here at the near point.
Oh.
Down low, great backhand pass, one-time shot from Cyrek, just unable to get that past the pad of Gavin Waite, as maybe just that pass has just a touch more on it. That's able to really set that one up properly. Minute 25 to go here in the period, as again, it's just Starpoint in waves coming into the offensive zone right now. Cyric driving towards the cage, losing control of it as he took a little bit of a bump there driving in towards the net. Aiden Case keeps it in at the far point, gets it to Russell. Russell trying to feed a pass out in front. Hamburg defender getting in the way of that one, getting that puck cleared out to center. Canyon Bellis there trying to get that puck up ice. Loses control of it, but eventually gets some help from Matt Jablonski. Jablonski with the drop pass to Fidel just inside the blue line. Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication there as Hamburg trying to make a change. And that's going to allow Starpoint to find control of it with 50 seconds to go in the period. Puck slowly floated through the neutral zone. Now Gregory into the offensive end. This is the most dangerous player on the ice possibly, and the person you don't want to give that much room to get that shot away. Unable to hit the net, though, as we now have 35 seconds to go in the period. Gregory with another chance to get control of the puck here along the near wall. Down low as Gregory has possession of it there. Gets that pass out in front. Tried to find Ike. Looked like Ike did get that shot in on goal, but save being made by Garou as there haven't been a whole lot of shots in on the Starpoint netminder today. In that case, he really had to be aware of what was going on. Good play just inside the Hamburg blue line by Ike to lay a little bit of a body on that man, driving it into the offensive zone. Still 7 seconds left in the period, though. Still could be enough time for Starpoint to get something set up. Battle for a loose puck up against the boards is going to be pinned against the boards for the entirety of the period, or the rest of the period, I should say. And that's how the second frame will come to a close. But wow, that was certainly the type of period that Starpoint had to have in mind after they kind of went through what would have been a frustrating first period of play. I think you would have to agree.
Absolutely, and the frustration didn't exactly stop until the halfway point of the second period, but they stuck to their game. And then they got to, and then they just continued to sustain pressure. So Hamburg, luckily gets out of that period only down 1. They get a chance to regroup and come out strong. And then Starpoint, you didn't want to change anything going into the second. Well, now you really don't want to change anything going into the third with how that period went. So interesting to see how these teams are going to come out for the third period, which is going to be a huge period for both teams.
This Nickel City Hockey Network broadcast is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso & Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Also, this broadcast brought to you by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. You can find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. Also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions, offering consultation for web and graphic design, social media, writing and editing services, multimedia solutions, and more. Visit them, 412communications.com, to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. Our score after 2 periods of play, it's Starpoint 2 and Hamburg 1. We'll be back with third period play in about 10 minutes here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. And welcome back to Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo as we get set for third period play between Starpoint and Hamburg. It is a 2-1 Starpoint lead after 2 periods of play. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast here on the Nichols City Hockey Network. My name is Aaron Elpern, alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, videographer Jeff Jazarowski, as we get set for the third period between the Spartans and Bulldogs. And Sean, the first 2 periods of play certainly could be described as periods that the team in red had the majority of control of the puck and control of the pace of the play. The first and second periods, however, went differently for them in terms of the scoreboard.
Absolutely. In the first period, Starpoint definitely had the much better edge and control, but the one thing Hamburg was doing was preventing the high-danger scoring chances. Well, Starpoint started getting the high-danger scoring chances, and after having a goal waved off, they answered with 2 more goals that were not waved off and took a 2-1 lead going into the third. And honestly, if you're Hamburg, the positive is it probably should be worse than 2-1, so you still have a fighting chance in this. So it's going to be interesting to see. Starpoint doesn't have to change anything. They just need to do what they're doing. And again, we've got an issue with the ice and the goal crease.
It's funny because it is the opposite side of the rink that we had a little bit of an issue with the ice in the crease of the same netminder, Gavin Waite. It was to our right in the second period. Over here now it's in the crease to our left, and a little bit of work needing to be done over there. Referees just kind of sorting things out there in the Hamburg goal crease, but hopefully get that sorted away before too much time. We can get underway here in third period play. But this Nichols City Hockey Network broadcast is proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso and Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Of course, we appreciate all of our sponsors that help you bring you these broadcasts of high school hockey, and we certainly appreciate you joining us here for this game here tonight. We're underway in the third period. Starpoint into the offensive zone yet again. Down low, this is Brady Ike trying to get it out of the zone. Floats a pass up the glass, but unable to get it out as it's kept in at the point by Muscarella. Shot then taken quickly, turning around and letting that forehand shot go is Alec Kirk. Gavin Waite making the save, holding on, pinning that one between his glove and his midsection. So we get the first stoppage of third period play, 26 seconds into the frame. Score remains 2-1 Starpoint.
Yeah, Starpoint picking up where they left off again, just winning faceoffs in the offensive zone. Looking to drive some possession right here.
Hamburg, though, getting that puck back and trying to move it through the center ice area. Good play by Mainstone to get in the way of a pass, and now he carries it into the offensive zone himself. Tries to get that pass back to the point, but Fidel making a good play to get in the way of that one and gets it up to Gregory. Gregory into the offensive zone, cuts wide, and sets up some possession behind the net. He got that pass out in front. Looked like he snuck it past the defenseman. Might not have even had his teammate ready for that there in front of the net, as number 14, Alex Fidel, unable to get that shot in on goal after accepting that pass from Gregory from behind the net. Starpoint looking to counter and moving back up ice. Lubert's pass up to Mainstone into the offensive zone, but we get a stoppage in play here as the Starpoint net is off here at the other end of the rink. There's the referee blowing the play dead, and so that's going to negate an opportunity for Starpoint to set up in the offensive zone. Interested to see where this faceoff's going to go to. A little conversation between the officials now as the play was all the way in the zone to our left when it was blown dead by the official here in the neutral zone. Not a surprise that they're having a little bit of a conversation before they determine where they want to have the draw. They say it's going to be in the Hamburg zone to the blocker side of Gavin Waite. So both teams get their personnel out there ready for this face-off, and we'll have 15:53 to go in the third period when the puck's dropped. Hamburg winning control of the face-off, something they haven't had a whole lot of success with tonight. Can't maintain possession. Now a chance for Russell to get that pass out in front of the net. Ends up coming back to the point, but Case had already retreated back into the neutral zone. Starpoint looking to regroup in the neutral zone and get it back into the offensive end, though. Sekaterski getting in the way of that pass. And now Hamburg with possession, looking to break it on the far side. Rogers, though, falling down on the play, does a good job to get back to his skates, keep possession long enough to get that pass up to Bellis. Bellis getting it into the offensive zone. He gets knocked down there on the far side. Manguso doing a good job of stripping him from that puck and then standing up the far side here. Sent right back in down deep, though, by Sekaterski, though, as Hamburg making some changes now as we're about 2 minutes into play here in the third period. Aiden Case with a backhand pass toward the near boards. Good play by Sekaterski to keep that one in. Extending with that long reach of his to keep that one just inside the blue line. Starpoint now looking to work it up that far side. Cardarella tries to get it out, unable to do so, and it's sent back down deep, and Joe Manguso is going to have to pick it up there behind his net. Stops behind the net and starts to break out up the far side. Russell unable to handle that pass, though. And now Aiden Case is going to have to try his hand at the breakout. Spins to avoid one forechecker, and now looking for a pass in behind his net. Ended up being kind of a dangerous look there as he had to put a lot of ice in between him and his intended target there. Almost got picked off. Almost ended up on the tape of his teammate. Ended up being an icing call as nobody was able to get the stick on that one. So a little bit of sloppy play here in the last few moments, but we'll get a face-off to the right of Rich Garou when we get things going here with 14:34 remaining in the third.
Hamburg doing a nice job so far of getting some puck possession, but now they need to turn it into shots and scoring opportunities. They're going to get this game tied.
Starpoint moving it up ice and getting it deep into the Hamburg zone. Setting up some pressure there in that far corner's Reed Mariner. Gets it along to Austin Bush, and he tries to circle the net. He gets a backhand pass trying to get it back to Mariner, just a little bit out of his reach. Comes back to the point to Dominic Lubert, who just sends it right back down low. Starpoint still with a considerable advantage in shots on goal in this game. 24-6 is the Starpoint advantage. Trying to add to it here as they're unable to keep it inside the blue line, but it's sent right back into the offensive zone after Dominic Lubert picks it up at center ice. Attempted breakout there up the near side as Wood unable to find a teammate to get that pass to. Starpoint just sends it right back down low into that same corner. Mariner here against the near wall, doing some battle against two different Hamburg players as they try to make sure that puck gets down deep to the Starpoint Spartans. Two Hamburg players over there still trying to get that puck out of the zone. Mariner ends up getting knocked down on the play. Comes back to the point. McClellan, though, keeps it in. Gets it to Mariner, who's back on his skates now. Eventually, Hamburg getting that clear, as it was eventually Jablonski sending it through the neutral zone off the near boards. Hamburg and Starpoint making some changes now as Dominic Lubert skates it up the far side. He's got Josh Gregory on him, but he gets around him, and now Lubert has a chance to get that shot in on goal. It's under the bar and into the net. Looked like the goaltender Waite disagrees with that call, but the referee points to the net, and it's a 3-1 Starpoint lead as the defenseman Dominic Lubert gets the goal and gets his team the 2-goal advantage.
Yeah, and that was some pretty stick handling there by Dominic Lubert. Walks around two guys and fires a snapshot. Gavin Waite disagrees, but that looked like it hit the back bar and went in. What a shot there by Dominic Lubert, and Starpoint now gets a 2-goal lead. Now Hamburg's in trouble. They need something, and they need it now. And if you're Starpoint, just play the puck possession game you've been playing the entire time. You're going to catch Hamburg cheating because they have to right now. And, yep, they're doing it. They're sending a forechecker hard right below the goal line.
Under 13 minutes to go in regulation. Now Starpoint looking to add to their lead. Backhand shot from Justin Bull. That one's deflected wide. Kirk with a chance to keep possession moving, though, in the offensive zone. Gets it along to Maidstone. Mainstone's shot goes off the stick of Gavin Waite, and then it's deflected in behind the net. Eventually, Hamburg gets it up to Gregory, who comes streaking through the neutral zone. Tries to make a move there just inside the blue line. Again, really good defensive play by Joe Muscarella. That's at least 3 times today that he's stepped up and made a good defensive play with a Hamburg player driving into the offensive zone, trying to break it in with that zone entry.
I'm wondering if Coach Clayton gave Muscarella the assignment for Gregory when he's on the ice. I mean, we know he said he doesn't game plan for one guy, but Muscarella's been glued to him the entire game.
And there he is again, making the play in the neutral zone, denying Gregory that entry. Now Starpoint looking to move it through the neutral zone themselves, just a little bit unable to connect on that pass right inside the blue line. That could have been some opportunity there with some speed and numbers for Starpoint. Muscarella unable to get that pass up ice, and now Scholes finds possession. Tries to get a pass out in front. No Hamburg players there to accept it, and it's moved up the boards to Bull. Bull with a cross-ice pass, and Alec Kirk into the offensive zone. Slows down, tries to get it back to Bull. That almost was a very nice setup there in the slot. Just a Hamburg player getting a skate in the way, keeping that pass from connecting. Joe Manguso battling against Brady Ike there on the far boards. Eventually it comes out towards the point. Alec Kirk making sure it stays in the offensive zone, gets it down low, and then a couple of Starpoint players go to the bench to make a change. Still deep in the offensive zone as they execute that change. Now Baumgartner looking for a pass with very little pressure on him here in the near corner. Despite that lack of pressure, unable to find a teammate, and he ends up giving possession right back to Starpoint. Lubert now gets it up to the near boards. Cyric just deflects it into the offensive zone. Ends up having the puck come right back towards him here in the neutral zone, and now it's going to be Cardarella on the far side as we have now 11 minutes to go in regulation. Cardarella quickly one-touching that one to Lubert. Now Lubert up the near side as he finds Cyric. Cyric trying to look back for Lubert as he was driving in towards the front of the net. The defenseman getting in the way of that one and keeping that give-and-go play from happening as they went from neutral zone into the offensive zone. Shot softly floated in on the Starpoint netminder, easily played towards the corner by Garou. Rogers keeping it in here at the near point, just floating it into the corner, and then Aiden Case plays it out to center ice. Cyric picking up a loose puck there, might have a step on the defender, takes that wrist shot. Stick save made by Gavin Waite. Might have been going high and wide nonetheless, but he got that stick on it to deny that opportunity. And now Hamburg in the other direction. This is Reese gaining the offensive zone. Gets a step on the defender, still gets that shot in on goal. Might have been going wide. There was a pad save made by Garou. And now the team's going back and forth in the opposite directions. Starpoint unable to get anything from that push up ice. Now it's going to be Bellis carrying it up ice.
Oh, he's got to make that pass.
That was a 4-on-2 possibly developing in the neutral zone.
He's
Bellis
been doing that tonight too, just trying to carry it himself.
Just not quite getting that proper read on the numbers there through the neutral zone. Fidel, though, with that shot from distance. It bounces off the backboards, almost comes right out to Bellis. Could have gotten a decent chance there and ended up getting knocked onto his backside by Lubert. And now Rogers comes over to issue some justice himself as the diminutive forward there from Hamburg, causing some consternation in front of the Starpoint net.
I don't think Lubert was fazed by that even a little bit.
I don't think that Bellis did everything he could to stay on his feet there for that first push either.
No, I might venture a guess as to he might have been trying to sell something.
No one buying on that one, and now Bellis has control of it after that face-off. Hamburg gets it down low as we're under 10 minutes to go in regulation. Fidel winning a foot race to the puck here in the near corner, but he's got 2 Starpoint players on him. And now it's going to be Bush trying to carry it out, but Gregory takes him off of that one. Gregory now in the far corner, feeds a backhand pass in front. Nobody there to accept it. 2 Starpoint players make sure it gets off out of danger towards these near boards. Puck comes through the neutral zone now, as it is picked up by Austin Bush just outside of the Hamburg blue line. Hamburg, though, sends it back through the neutral zone where it's going to be Joe Manguso setting it up. Cross to McClellan, and the 2 defensemen play catch him behind the net. Puck comes slowly up the far boards. Scholes trying to keep it in, unable to do so as Merrifield makes sure that one gets out to center ice. Puck then ends up being played over the boards and into the bench, so we get another stoppage in play as we are just under 9 minutes to go in regulation. Still a 3-1 Starpoint lead, but I think the game has probably been a little bit more of a one-sided affair, maybe a little bit more resembles what the shots on goal are right now. That one is 26-9 in favor of Starpoint.
Yeah, if it weren't for some big-time saves by Gavin Wade, this score could be a lot worse, but they're getting the goaltending by their senior, so all it takes is one bounce or one bit of luck for Hamburg, and they're right back in this game.
That's pretty much the way it went in the first period, is they had a lot of pressure in their zone for the entirety of that first period. They managed to keep those low-danger chances to a minimum. Then they got their opportunity late in the period, Brady Ike getting the first goal of the game. Let's see if they can repeat that formula here in the third period. Starpoint, however, with possession right now. Justin Bull feeds a pass through the neutral zone. Unable to connect there with Alec Kirk at the far blue line. Now it's going to be Brady Ike picking it up for Hamburg behind his net. Breakout pass doesn't connect. McClellan keeps it in, gets it to Kirk. Kirk then tries to feed that one in front. He's got a man there. First opportunity doesn't connect. Second chance for McClellan. That one gets blocked on his way through. McClellan trying to walk in from the point and get that second chance opportunity in on goal. Hamburg, though, doing a good job of kind of clogging that front of the net. That shot attempt there from the right point from Joe Manguso goes just wide. And now it's going to be McClellan walking in from the left point to make sure that one gets deep into the offensive zone yet again. Ebers, though, finding possession of it for Hamburg, trying to get it out here again up the near boards. McClellan, a good job. He ends up leaving his feet to make sure that one stays in the zone. And then we have a hand pass being called, and I think that's going to be McClellan guilty of that. Obviously, we're unable to see that given the perspective of the boards being in our way of the view of that play there, but the referee making the hand pass call, and that's going to mean that Starpoint's going to have to deal with a defensive zone draw as we have 7:43 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, it's about time for Hamburg to kind of pull out all the stops right here. Just anything you can do to get something to the net right here. You got to try to think about getting one because you need two.
Like win a faceoff and get a redirection shot. That was almost exactly what they were looking for. Sekaterski letting the shot go from the point, got the redirection as just getting enough of that one was Jake Jaworski. The two freshmen almost combining on a goal there. Just couldn't quite get that redirection past Guru as he stuck the left pad out to get the last-second save there. Hamburg, though, keeping it in the offensive zone here as we have 7.5 to go in regulation. Unable to keep it in for very long, though, as Cyric carries it out of the zone and gets it into the offensive end. Now putting some pressure on Rogers in that far corner. Two different Starpoint players over in that far corner. Two Hamburg players also trying to find possession. Neither side able to get that puck free. Eventually it becomes dislodged. And now Rogers has a lot of room to work it up this near side. Ends up cutting back towards the slot. Now has some ice in front of him through the neutral zone. Liam Rogers into the offensive end for Hamburg. Takes a nice hit there on the far side. Dominic Lubert driving him into that corner, creating a loose puck. And now starting the breakout himself. Cyric just playing it out of the zone, though. And that one's going to go far enough for icing. So faceoff coming back into Starpoint territory. As you saw, the Starpoint defenseman number 2, Dominic Lubert, he's been one of the more impressive players in red here today. It looked nice. Like he might have been giving a little bit too much of a gap there on that rush up ice, but he timed it perfectly, made the strong hit in the corner, creating that loose puck. He has been one of the reasons why Starpoint has been in such command of this game from the start.
Yes, he's one of the main reasons why Starpoint's blue line has just been able to control pretty much anything from the back end right there. And like you said, looked like he was giving Rogers a bit of a shooting gap, but as soon as Rogers tried to step around him, he closed that gap in a stride and put a much bigger Rogers right on the deck. Yeah. That's that experience this kid has playing at all levels.
Yeah, you can see why Starpoint loves it when he's in the lineup. He's not an everyday player for this Starpoint team. He has to split time with the Junior B Welland Canadians of the Go JHL, so no surprise that he's able to make a big impact when he's in the lineup for Starpoint. He's certainly done that in every facet of the game here tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's been one of the best players on the ice for either team tonight, him and Cardarella.
Ike's shot gets blocked on its way through. Ebers almost with a golden opportunity. Had a lot of room to let that shot go from the mid-slot, just unable to get that one in on net. Ebers finding control of it here, plays it through the neutral zone. Muscarella picking it up there, quickly up ice to Mainstone. Mainstone slows it down, gets wide, now gets that pass out in front, right on the tape of Alec Kirk, and then right into the back of the net. 4-1 Starpoint, as again, it is the top line of the Spartans doing damage in the offensive zone. Pinpoint passing and a perfect shot to finish it off.
Right there, you see a perfect example of experience versus youth right there. Hamburg's having a hard time hitting those stretch passes. Starpoint's putting them on the tape, and when you can hit your guys in stride through the neutral zone, that's how this happens. And then a great job by Mainstone getting down below the goal line, sending a perfect pass right behind the two defensemen, but right on the doorstep. And Kirk again wires a perfect shot right over the glove of Gavin Wade, and Starpoint opens up a 3-goal lead. And I know hockey's a quick game, but you have to think it would take a collapse of monumental proportions for Starpoint to lose this lead.
And really the opportunity right there for Hamburg to draw a little bit closer, and then it's the aftermath. Immediately afterwards, Hamburg able to get the unable to keep the Starpoint Spartans from getting that 4th goal. It's as you said, Sean, that's exactly the way it goes sometimes in this game. can't take advantage of that chance that you have, and then it's the other one at the other side of the rink that's immediately taken advantage of. And now it's going to be that much harder for Hamburg to come back in this game. They've already had the deficit in terms of zone time and possession here in this one, and that one could be the backbreaker that Starpoint was looking for. Scramble in front of the net, another chance for Starpoint to put the nail in the coffin here in this one. Bush with control of it, trying to circle that net and get it out in front. Scott Mariner in front of the cage. Also Joe Manguso there on the near side, Jim Manguso waiting for that pass, just couldn't quite get control of that one. Eventually, Gavin Waite puts the glove on top of that one to keep this one from getting that 5th goal for Starpoint. But they were sensing blood in the water earlier. They are certainly circling it now.
Oh, yes, they're all over the cage right now. I mean, to Hamburg's credit, the effort's still there, but right now Starpoint just has experience and just they have the miles on their legs right now, and it shows. And Frankie Cardarella, he deserves one right here. He's had an outstanding game. He's been robbed blind twice and has had set-up plays that could have easily ended up in the back of the net. But the goaltender, again, made outstanding saves.
Loose puck created by Hamburg here in the offensive zone. Tried to getting that pass out in front was number 34 on the play, Jake Jaworski. Couldn't quite get it past the stick of Rich Carew. Offensive zone draw coming up for Hamburg, though, as we have 5:03 now remaining in third period play. It's going to be Cyric and Reese on for this draw.
Hamburg's starting to win some draws. Might be a little too late, but these little plays they're running off the faceoff have been generating scoring chances.
Down low to Kinderman. He takes a
And
bump
there
there from Lubert. Again, Dominic Lubert showing his force there, all 3 zones here tonight. And the physical aspect of his game certainly been impressive to watch. Number 2 in action tonight. And this has been a great defensive performance in general from Starpoint, and certainly deserves a little bit of extra credit considering the fact that they're doing with only 5 defensemen here tonight. The senior leader of the defense corps, Braden Allen, is suspended for this game. So just 5 defensemen, and they're all stepping up and playing great hockey, including the player who's got the puck on a stick right there. Muscarello letting that shot go from distance. The save was made, and then there's some chopping after a loose puck by Cyric. A little bit of a response there. Referee getting into the corner there to make sure that that doesn't continue too much. As
frustration penalty.
Yeah, frustration penalty being taken there by the Hamburg player. As Starpoint fans know that there was a altercation like that in front of the net that ended up resulting in that suspension we were talking about. So glad to see that little bit of a spat didn't spill over into anything too much.
I think that might have been a very key emphasis this week, where with a defenseman of Allen's caliber not available to them, I think it was don't retaliate ever because they can't afford anybody else, and way to keep it cool right there. Not going after them for frustration. Now they're going to get a power play to work some more.
Yeah, so the Starpoint power play now getting a chance to do a little bit of work. There's Cardarella with the puck on his stick. He's been one of the most dangerous Spartans here today, just unable to get on the score sheet quite yet. Mainstone lets that shot go. That one trying to go high blocker side on Waite, just barely missing that top corner. Lubert keeping it in at the point, feeds it along the boards to Alec Kirk. Kirk then spins and gives it back to Lubert at the point. Lubert walking in, has a little bit of pressure on him from Gregory. Gets it to Kirk, and he feeds it down, though. Now Mainstone keeping things set up as he has it behind the net. Good physical play by Brady Ike to create a loose puck. Let's see if Hamburg can get that puck out. Scheffler unable to do so. Gregory, though, does so as he chops that one away from the Starpoint defender, Lubert. Minute 14 remaining in this Starpoint power play. 3:30 remaining in regulation. As Will Mainstone gets that puck up ice to Alec Kirk. Kirk into the offensive zone with some speed in the near corner. Kirk now circling that net, gets that pass back to the point to Lubert. Lubert sidesteps one man, tries to feed that pass out in front. Oh, that was almost a breakaway opportunity there for Gregory. Just kind of ended up getting caught in his skates before he could get up to his stick.
No one's catching him if he hits full speed either.
Bo carries it back across the Hamburg blue line and sets up here in the near corner. Pass out to Cardarella, then across to Alec Kirk. Has all day to pick his spot there. Goes high glove over the arm of Gavin Waite, and it is now 5-1 Starpoint, and that one is the hat trick for number 5, Alec Kirk. No surprise, as he is the Starpoint leading scorer, and a big reason why his team is now out in front 5-1.
Yep, Alec Kirk gets the magic number. He gets 20, so he gets that flex on all of his buddies in the locker room today. And Frankie Cardarella finally gets rewarded with a well-deserved point. He has been driving the offense like crazy today with his passing and shooting. Puck goes right to the slot. Hamburg rightfully converges on him. Then he kicks one right over to Alec Kirk. I mean, if you need a safety valve, that's about as good a safety valve as you can possibly have, is that guy. And again, Starpoint just showing that experience, being patient, playing their game. In a game where they could have had 10 and ran into a good goaltender, they still got 5, and there's time left.
Yeah, we were talking about how there was an opportunity in this game where Starpoint could start to show some frustration. They had plenty of offensive zone time, plenty of chances to get shots in on goal. They hadn't generated a lot of the high-danger chances. When they did, Gavin Wade had been up to the challenge, but they didn't really change anything. They didn't, press the panic button. They didn't try to do anything differently. They didn't change their strategy. They stuck to the system, and eventually those chances started to pay off.
They didn't fix what wasn't broken, is what they did.
It's easy to do. That's the thing that a younger team might be guilty of doing, trying to change things when they don't need to change. Starpoint, though, knew that they were doing things properly here in this game. They've continued to do things as they did early on, despite the fact that it took them over a period to get rewarded. And obviously, the strategy has been a sound one, and it's paid off. They have this 5-1 lead as we're almost under 2 minutes to go.
Yes, they were able to acknowledge that the other team they're playing against is also playing hockey, and even if you're doing everything right, if that team's doing things right, it might not go your way. So Starpoint, stayed the course, and the offense came, and then once the levee broke, they pretty much took full control of this game and never looked back.
Ends up being another 5-goal game for the Starpoint Spartans. They scored 5 in their last game against Williamsville East. It had been a period of time this season when Starpoint wasn't quite generating all of the offense that they wanted to, maybe wasn't quite the offensive attack that Coach Clayton Wilson likes to see, but it seems that they maybe have exercised those demons here in the last couple of games. Obviously, it took a while before they broke the dam open here in this one, but they have 5 in this one now, 5 in the last game against a strong Williamsville East team.
And a power play to get to 6 or 7 now. To try to, excuse me.
Coincidental minors there. One from each player in the box. I think it's going to be it's a 5-on-5 continuum.
I didn't see the far winger. I thought Hamburg lined up with 4.
And from where we are, we can also see the Hamburg player in the penalty box, but we can't quite see the Starpoint player from where our perspective is. So that's maybe why it maybe looked like there was going to be a power play coming up.
Not my fault is what you're telling me.
Exactly. Starpoint still, to your point, though, they still do have a chance to add to it as they're setting up camp here again in the offensive zone. Unable to keep it in at the point is Muscarella, but he goes back into the neutral zone for it. Feeds a pass up to Jim Manguso, and now into the offensive zone as Manguso goes into the cross corner to find Cyric with it. Cyric tries to make a move there to get himself free of a Hamburg defender, gets it to Russell, and now back to the point to Aiden Case. Winds up and takes a shot right into the midsection of Gavin Waite. Holds on for a whistle, and that was the 31st shot in on goal for Starpoint today. And Gavin Waite making that stop, his 26th stop of the evening. 54.2 seconds remaining in this game. And our broadcast tonight has been proudly supported by the architects at Lauer Manguso and Associates. Architecture, engineering, and design services from Lauer Manguso have earned the firm a reputation for quality and excellence spanning more than 4 decades. Our broadcast also brought to you by Envious Gameware, designers of high-end custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. The thinking of look good, feel good, play good goes into every Envious jersey design. Find them online, enviousgameware.com, to get your team a look to be envious of. And also by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions. Visit them, 412communications.com, to learn how they can help your brand build bridges with the people you serve. Last 15 seconds of play ticking away here from the Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo as Starpoint gets it into the offensive zone one last time. Setting up some offensive zone pressure is Merrifield on the far wall. Takes a little bit of a bump from Ebers. Ebers getting that puck free as it comes through the neutral zone. The last 2 seconds ticking away. And that's going to do it here from Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo. Our final score from this Section 6 high school hockey matchup, Starpoint 5, Hamburg 1. Obviously, we certainly appreciate you joining us for our broadcast today, and you don't have to wait very long for our next broadcast on the Nickel City Hockey Network. We're back with you on Wednesday evening as Starpoint hosts Iroquois Alden from Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda. That game is a 6:50 start here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. Either join us in person at Hockey Outlet or join us right here at NickelCityHockeyNetwork.com for live coverage of that game on Wednesday. Actually, quite a full week for the Nickel City Hockey Network. We have a college game on Friday as well, as Buffalo State visits St. John Fisher in the Upstate New York Collegiate Hockey League. So a busy week of broadcasts here on the Nickel City Hockey Network, but we certainly appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your Monday night to join us here for this broadcast here tonight. And a very exciting 5-1 victory in favor of the Starpoint Spartans as they improve their record on the season to 10-5. And maybe, Sean, they're starting to get their stride at the right time of year as they get towards that postseason. Remember last year they went on a really good postseason push. It started maybe a little bit earlier in the season in January, but maybe they might be finding that proper play at the right time.
Yeah, late in the season is the perfect time to get hot heading into the playoffs, especially with the experience this team has. So to get the younger players some experience and some confidence towards the end of the season can only help a team that has loads of experience looking for one last run at a state title.
And if you look at that in terms of the different runs that are setting up here towards the end of the season, this obviously a big win for Starpoint, another ECIC2 win on the heels of a huge win on Thursday against Will East. Obviously, the division crown is still in play for Starpoint as they are battling against Williamsville East and their opponent Iroquois Alden on Wednesday. So that game on Wednesday is going to be a big one in terms of determining how the ECIC2 standings will finish out. And then obviously it's about setting up that run towards the postseason and the small school playoffs here in Section 6. Maybe as we've been suggesting, it is the right time of year to be catching fire, and Starpoint with a 5-1 win tonight, a 5-1 win on Thursday, might be just finding that proper stride at the right time of year.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, this is the time to get hot right now. Having a 5-goal game against an opponent you're familiar with, yes, it's the experience and maybe body of work is a discrepancy in favor of Starpoint, but when you play teams you're familiar with, the games aren't easy, and Starpoint has handled business twice against Hamburg. That's not anything to, scoff at. So Starpoint winning the games they need to. They're playing well, they're playing smart, and their young players are getting hot right now. And you can just you can just expect to rely on their seniors. They've proven that over the course of their run since they became Starpoint Spartans. So Starpoint's a team to watch towards the end of the season.
And you mentioned seniors there. Do you want to mention that we have senior nights coming up for both of these teams? The games on Saturday for both of these teams will be senior nights. It will be West Seneca East as the opponent for Starpoint. That is a 12:40 p.m. game at Hockey Outlet in North Tonawanda. Meanwhile, it is the rivalry game for Hamburg on Saturday with Frontier. The two teams both using that as their senior night as they do battle at the Nike base in Hamburg. That's obviously a game that is circled on the calendar for the Bulldogs, and both teams will certainly be enjoying their senior night celebrations this weekend. And certainly hats off to the seniors on both rosters for their high school hockey careers. And we'll certainly be excited to watch Starpoint seniors in action on Wednesday. As we mentioned, we have another broadcast coming up this week of Starpoint hockey. Starpoint and Iroquois Alden meeting on Wednesday at 6:50 from Hockey Outlet. Certainly hope you join us for that game as well. Should just about do it for our broadcast here from Harborcenter in downtown Buffalo. For camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, color commentator Sean McHugh, my name is Aaron Elpern. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You've been listening to live high school hockey on the Nickel City Hockey Network. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time and joining us on your Monday night. Certainly hope you enjoy the rest of your week.